Hey guys, welcome to AFC Game by Game, where today I'm going to be doing a season summary of the Arsenal 2012-2013 season. So at the start of the season, it looked really positive. We had Robin Van Persie up front, brought in these three new signings, the Bundesliga top scorer, the Ligue 1 top scorer, and we had a great new signing in Santi Cazorla, probably one of the best players outside of Real Madrid or Barcelona in the Spanish league. So obviously things were looking really positive up until the point when we sold Robin Van Persie and we didn't properly replace him. Wenger claimed we had proper signings to replace Robin Van Persie and Olivier Giroud and Lucas Podolski. Honestly, I thought we were going to go out and buy someone on deadline day, but unfortunately we didn't do that, and we were going into this season. And I didn't really see much of Giroud, in all honesty. At the start of the season, he was very quiet. He missed quite a lot of chances. I was honestly thinking he was going to be another Marouane Chamakh. Later on in the season, Giroud proved to be a decent player, scoring goals. Podolski, I don't think he's had a great season, but to be fair, the Bundesliga is quite different to the Premier League. There is a lot more intense, but if you look at his goals and assists, I'm happy with him. And Cazorla has got to be one of the best bargain buyers, I think, of the season. Really, he's just been absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, moving on to my next point. I think another area of the field of play where we haven't been particularly great is in the defence. Okay, we have probably got one of the best defensive records in the Premier League this season. At the start of the season, we were absolutely phenomenal in the defence. We had great defenders in Carl Jenkinson, Thomas Vermaelen, and we could switch between Laurent Koscielny and Per Mertesacker. We also had Kieran Gibbs at the back. He's been absolutely amazing this season. Even though that was a great back four, it kept changing. We kept swapping Mertesacker in for Koscielny, Koscielny for Vermaelen. It was getting really confusing, and at times our defence was horrendously poor. Although we were lucky at times when we didn't concede, there were times when that cost us, especially against bigger teams. It cost us against Chelsea when Koscielny made an error. But overall, I think we can take a lot of credit to Arsene Wenger because he has sorted out our defence in having a good back four in Sagna, Mertesacker, Koscielny, and he can alternate Gibbs and Monreal. I think Monreal was a very good buy in January. Moving on to my next point. He has been a decent buy. He's a great surplus. We now have got quite a bit of strength and depth in the club, especially in that defence, because we now have two very good right backs, two very good left backs, and we've got three class centre backs. I think that Koscielny has got to be he's got to be a world class centre back now. He's absolutely fantastic. Probably one of the best defenders in the Premier League. But anyway, inconsistency has cost us this season, and it's against teams like Swansea and Norwich, like I said before, where we have dipped in form, and that's not on really for a team like Arsenal. We've got to be consistent, and the problems are when we're winning and then we're losing, and the problems are when we're not scoring and when we're not defending. And we should have a team that is solid in defence, midfield and attack, and we haven't been like that this season. We've been poor in all areas of the pitch, and it's only like in the latter stage of the season that we've sorted that out. And you've got to give praise to Arsene Wenger because he has done a great job in doing that. But I can't help but feel he should have bought people at the start of the season that would sort out our defensive crisis at times and our attacking options. He didn't do that, and for that I'm not particularly pleased. But I'm sure we've got a squad capable of doing things next season, and if he buys well, then we can definitely compete for a title. Anyway, going on to my next point, I think one thing that's really annoying me this season is that players like Carl Jenkinson and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain haven't been played enough. Fair enough, at the start, Carl Jenkinson was getting loads of games under his belt and he has been rewarded against games with Bayern Munich, etc. But I can't say it's fair on him because when Sagna was injured and Jenkinson was played against Bayern Munich and Swansea, he was phenomenal in both those games. And Sagna came back and he was appalling. At times, Sagna has been horrendous this season. I think if Wenger's going to be patient with players like Sagna, yeah, Jenkinson's only 21 or something, but you've got to be patient with Jenkinson. He's young, but he's a great player, and you've got to keep playing him. Because if you're going to have patience with Sagna, you've got to have patience with Jenkinson. It's only fair because he puts in 110% each game, which is something I don't think Sagna does every game. Credit to him though, he has done quite a lot this season in Sagna. I mean, he's had 2 broken legs, and he's put in some very good performances, especially centre-back against Sunderland. But, I mean, I'm still not convinced by Sagna. I don't know if he's leaving. There have been pictures of him in Spain, I don't know what that's about. If he's on holiday or if he's going to somewhere like Sevilla or Malaga, he's being linked with those 2 clubs. But either way, I'm not happy that Wenger hasn't played Jenkinson, and I'm also not happy that Chamberlain hasn't been played enough because, like I say, Wenger was patient with Sagna. He's also been very patient with Gervinho, which annoys me. Gervinho hasn't been good this season. He's had 1 or 2 good games. He hasn't had any great games, which Chamberlain did last season. Admittedly, when Chamberlain did play certain games this season, he wasn't great, and maybe Gervinho was better at times. but Chamberlain is 19. I know Wenger said he doesn't want to rush his younger players, but you've got to give Chamberlain a couple of games, because when Gervinho was starting, I feel that if Chamberlain had started a game, I feel we would have done a bit better, because he did have fantastic games last season and he could have carried that into this season. It's just that he wasn't given enough run of games to show himself really, which I don't think is very fair on him. Another thing about this season is I don't think we've really, honestly, been beating the big teams. We haven't beaten Man United, we haven't beaten Chelsea. Fair enough, we beat Tottenham and we have beaten Liverpool, but we're not beating big teams, and that's something that's got to be sorted out. I mean, we have got a squad capable of doing it. It's just something that we've got to do. It's just a quick thing I want to brush over, but I think if we can get decent buys, we can do that. As well as that, I don't actually think that getting 4th spot makes up for our poor cup efforts. We lost to Bradford in the cup, a team 3 divisions below us and over 60 places below us. It's probably even more than that. I can't remember how many places it was below us. It's a ridiculous number of places they were below us. But we lost to Bradford, a team of players that don't even play on a regular basis. I'm so annoyed at that. That was disgraceful. We had a team of professionals, internationals playing in that game, and they didn't win. Same against Blackburn, and a lot of people were slating off Wenger at this time. I know I was, but I'm still not forgiving Wenger for those defeats, because, okay, fair enough, the players out there should have performed better. I think they went into that game underestimating Bradford and underestimating Blackburn, but Wenger should have drilled into them at half time or before the game that you can't underestimate your opposition, and that we should have gone out and beaten them. It's not right really when we're having to pay the prices we do to see the games. And that brings me on to another point: stupidly, ridiculously high ticket prices. That's probably not anything to do with the actual players and that, but I think the ticket prices are absolutely ridiculous. I think we've got a horrendous board in Stan Kroenke and Ivan Gazidis. I mean, Ivan Gazidis, maybe he does a bit more now than he used to, but Stan Kroenke has to go. He doesn't show any compassion, any care towards Arsenal Football Club, and he's someone for me that's got to go. And we need a new board in my opinion. We definitely need new board members that actually care about Arsenal. But I think it's fair to say we've got to give Arsenal a lot of credit at times. We've had really good wins against Bayern Munich. We've had really good wins against other teams, Tottenham. So we haven't had a bad season considering where we were about 6 months ago and where we are now. To be 4th and we're going to be in the Champions League, I mean, that's a great effort by the players. But realistically, we've got to be competing for titles. I don't want to be out of every competition by mid-February. That's something that really annoys me. We've got to get into the Champions League next season after our qualifying games, and we've actually got to get through the group stages, finish first in the group stage, not second like we did this year, and we've got to not lose by such a large amount in the first leg. We've got to get further in the cups, especially when we're against lower league opposition. That annoys me, that when we were playing Blackburn, if we'd have gone through, if you look at the teams we'd have played, then we'd have got somewhere in that cup, but we didn't, and this is something we've got to focus on, because I want a cup next season, because I think if we're going to win a cup, next season is the best time to do it, and we really have to capitalise on that advantage. Man City aren't going to have a manager. They are going to have a manager, but it's going to be someone they're not used to. Man United have got a new manager who's not experienced at the top level or the Champions League. Okay, David Moyes, yeah, he is experienced in the Premier League, fair enough to him. He's done a very good job with Everton, but he's not experienced at managing a massive club like Man United, one of the best clubs in the world. I'm not sure what could happen there. He could do a good job, or he could do a bad job, or he could be very average. But I definitely think that this is our best season to do something. Like I said in my review the other day, Arsenal and Chelsea will be the 2 teams to watch, because Chelsea, they've got a lot of money to spend, but it's whether they spend it on the right players. I'd have honestly expected more of Chelsea this season, especially when they bought in Marco Marin, Eden Hazard and Victor Moses, when they spent large amounts of money, but they only came a couple of points above us. I honestly would have expected them to get further in the Champions League as well, but we're not talking about Chelsea, we're talking about Arsenal. But either way, we've got to do something next season. It's the best chance. I'd be happy with 2nd in the Cup. If we got 2nd and we won the FA Cup, that would please me. Even if we won the Capital One Cup. I know a lot of people don't like that cup, but I think if we just win 1 cup, then we can progress and win more and more and more, because it will just bring confidence back into the teams. And these players will be rewarded, especially the younger players, with at least a medal. Whatever cup it is, we've got to win a cup next season. It's a must. No excuses, because we've got a very good team that's capable of winning things. We've got a very young squad, we've got a great youth system that are coming through, And we've got great players in Cole Jenkinson, Jack Wilshere, Kieran Gibbs, Chamberlain, Walcott, Giroud, Podolski. Younger players as well that can be fast-tracked. Chuba Akpom, Hector Bellerin, great players that can all come through the ranks and hopefully be making a couple of first team appearances next season. But I think we've got to look forward and we've got to win a cup next season. No more excuses, Wenger. 4th place isn't a trophy and we've got to go forward and we've got to win something. Like I say, I've said it so many times, we have to win something. It's a must and I'm sure we can do it if we put our heads to it. Alright guys, thanks for watching this. It's been AFC Game by Game. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Alright, see you later.